With the release of Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, we finally got a chance to play this all-time classic from Kojima for the first time on the current-gen consoles. These games are so well known that even if you never played a video game before, you might have heard of them. There are many video game titles that have left an indelible mark on the industry, some for their innovative gameplay and compelling narratives, and others for their groundbreaking graphics and technologies that push the boundaries of what considered possible during their time. One such iconic game that stands out in this regard is Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. Released in 2001, developed by Hideo Kojima and his team in Konami. This installment in Metal Gear series not only elevated the standard of storytelling in video games, but also showcased graphics and technologies that were truly ahead of their time. Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty, at the time of the release, marked a serious transition to PlayStation 2, Sony's cutting-edge console at that time. This shift allowed Kojima and his team to harness the power of new hardware, taking full advantage of the increased processing capability and graphical prowess that PlayStation 2 offered. One of the standout features of MGS2's graphic was its remarkable realistic character models, the level of details in the facial expression and movement of the characters, particularly the protagonist Solid Snake and the new playable character Raiden, was unprecedented at that time. The characters conveyed a depth of emotion and nuance that had rarely been seen in video games up to that point. This realism extended to the intricacies of their clothing, the way they interact with the environment, and the dynamic lighting that added a cinematic quality to the overall presentation.
Hey, what's your name? Raiden.
The game's environments were equally impressive, featuring intricately designed settings that ranged from deck of a tanker to the sprawling big shell facility. The attention to detail in the environmental textures and dynamic lighting's effects showcased the technical capabilities of the PlayStation 2. Weather conditions such as rain and snow were rendered with a level of realism that you can really feel the immersion. This is no doubt has set a new standard for the environmental graphics in the early 2000s. MGS2 also introduced a revolutionary animation system that allowed for fluid and realistic character movement. The use of motion capture technology brought a level of authenticity to the character animations that was previously unseen in the gaming industry. From the way character moves during stealth sequences to the intense acrobatic combat animations, every aspect of the game animation contributed to the overall sense of immersion. The game's graphics were not confined to just gameplay. The use of in-game cinematics and real-time cutscenes seamlessly blended with the gameplay, providing a cinematic experience that was years ahead of its time. And this is what Kojima loves to do, and is very good at it till today. The transition between gameplay and the cinematics were quite seamless, and there are times I even found it difficult to distinguish between the two playing in current days. Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty was a groundbreaking title that showcased the true potential of PlayStation 2's graphical capabilities. Its realistic character models, dynamic environments, cutting-edge animations, and innovative cinematography collectively contributed to an unparalleled gaming experience back in 2001. From my own experience picking up this game for the first time on current-gen console, I had a blast playing through the game. Even the control of aiming, shooting, and fixed camera angles have aged throughout the years, but it didn't stop me enjoying the core stealth gameplay. Each boss design is also very unique. Figuring out how to approach and defeat each boss is one of the highlights of the game. MGS2 still is a great gaming experience in current days. I have no doubt it will remain the same in the years to come. The game set a new standard of what could be achieved in the realm of video game graphics, influencing the industry and inspiring future developers to strive for greater visual fidelity in their creations. Even more than 2 decades after its release, MGS2 remains a testament to the vision and technical prowess of Hideo Kojima and his team, solidifying its place in gaming history as a title that was truly ahead of its time. On another aspect, MGS2 is a prime example of how Medium can explore complex philosophical themes and resonate with real-world events. What this game gave us at that time was more than just entertainment. It made us realize that sometimes a video game could serve as a platform for profound philosophical and social-political discussions. The plot and narrative of the game delves deep into subjects like postmodernism, information control, identity, and the nature of reality, all of which bear striking similarities to real-world occurrences. At its core, Metal Gear Solid 2 is a commentary on the postmodern world, where information and narratives are manipulated and controlled. The game's storyline revolves around a shadowy organization, the Patriot, who orchestrated and shaped the flow of information to control society. The theme mirrors real-world concerns about manipulation of public perception through media, propaganda, and distortion of truth. Does that sound familiar to you? In the era of fake news and information warfare, the game's exploration of the consequences of information control is highly relevant. Have we ever thought about the consequences of unchecked information control and how AI, when wielded by powerful entities, can shape and distort reality? One of the game's central themes is the question of personal identity in an increasingly digitized and interconnected world. Raiden's journey to self-discovery mirrors the uncertainty and the identity crisis that all individuals face in the world dominated by social media, online avatars, and curated online personas. The game raises questions about the authenticity of identity, echoing concerns in the real world about the erosion of individuality in the age of internet. What caught other people off guard is the game starts to challenge our perception of reality.
Colonel, I just remembered something.
What?
That I've never met you in person. Not once.
Throughout the game, the players are subject to twists, deceptions, and unreliable narratives that force us to question the distinction between reality and illusion. These themes align with real-world debates about the nature of reality, truth, and the influence of deepfakes, generative AI, and digital manipulation in our understanding of events. The game's geopolitical aspects are remarkably relevant to real-world events. The plot touches on themes like nuclear proliferation, terrorism, and the impact of global superpowers on the world stage. The game's world closely resembles the early 21st century political landscape, drawing parallels to the war on terror, state surveillance, and the blurred line between national security and personal freedoms.
This is where freedom could have been born.
Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty, similar to other titles in its series, transcends the boundaries of traditional video games narratives, offering us a thought-provoking exploration of philosophical and social-political themes. Its striking similarities to real-world events and issues demonstrate the game's prescience in anticipating and commenting on the complexities of the modern world. Looking back at today, its enduring relevance serves as testament to the power of video games as a medium for addressing philosophical and real-world concerns. It truly is a game ahead of its time. Well done, Kojima. Or maybe I'm just overthinking it. It is just a game, and pretty damn good one. If you haven't played this game before, it's never too late to delve in. And if you have listened to me thus far, please let me know your thoughts, leave a like, and consider subscribing for future content. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.